Hi everyone, thanks for watching this presentation. My name is Julie Lauzen, I am a master's student at IPGP and I'm gonna present the last results we had on the monitoring of Dust Devil activity around the InSight landing site over the last Martian year. This work has been done with many collaborators from the InSight science team. So first, a brief introduction on the mission and the main goal of this study. The InSight mission successfully landed on Mars in November 2018 in Elysium Planitia, a few kilometers north of the Martian dichotomy separating the Southern Island from the Northern Low Plains. One of the objectives of this mission is to better understand the internal structure and composition of the planet. To do so, many geophysical instruments have been deployed on the ground surface, such as a seismometer, a magnetometer, but also a meteorological station. And this is the instrument that we're gonna use here to study atmospheric processes around the lander, in particular dust devils. The devils correspond to convective vortices that are able to lift dust in the air. They usually form in climatic environments characterized by arid conditions. They have been observed many times on Mars, but also on Earth. On the pressure sensor, the signature is characterized by a pressure drop, and the previous missions, such as Spirit, Opportunity, or Curiosity, captured many dust devils thanks to their cameras, as shown here. In addition, it is possible to observe dust devils and their associated tracks left behind the passage from orbital data. Here is an example of a high-res image showing nicely different types of tracks at the surface of Mars. Since the beginning of the InSight mission, no dust devils have been captured by the camera on board. Thus, in this study, we will only use orbital data to characterize dust devil activity by analyzing their tracks, in direct comparison with data from the meteorological sensors that are recording continuously. So, this is a great and unique opportunity to monitor the dust devil activity around InSight using different datasets. We use IRS satellite images with a high resolution of 25 cm per pixel. Two images were acquired before landing, and thanks to the great effort of the IRIS team, 15 images have been acquired above the InSight landing sites from December 2018 to August 2020. We will focus here on the post-landing images. Our first task was to analyze and map systematically all the new dust devil tracks formed between successive scenes. The two images on the left show you two examples of raw IRIS images. The larger tracks were easily identifiable by simply alternating the view between two scenes, but this method didn't allow us to see all tracks, especially the smaller ones with a low albedo contrast. So, to overcome this limitation, we performed ratios between successive images, as shown here on the right. This method is helpful to highlight surface changes that appear on the ground surface between the acquisition of two satellite images. On this slide, I just want to show you some examples of the surface signature of the new dust devil tracks that I'm gonna call DTT in the presentation. New tracks appear dark on ratio images, and most of them are linear to curved linear and 5 to 10 meter wide. However, in some scenes, we also distinguish feathered structures and cycloidal tracks, such as in B, with a diameter of about 15 meters. These nice structures can be useful to infer the sense of rotation and direction of the track. Of course, some tracks have been detected close to the InSight lander, and these examples have been described in detail in the Burnett and collaborator study. Note that we also observed brighter tracks on the image ratio as in D. They correspond to older tracks that were covered by dust between two scenes, which just affected their albedo contrast. Here is a mapping of all new tracks we identified during each of the 14 intervals of IRIS images, represented here by different colors. The first 6 intervals are part of the Perrin and Collaborator 2020 study and represent here 8 new intervals analyzed. We don't represent the IRIS intervals 3, 4, 5, and 12, 13, since no DDT have been observed during this time period. The mean area analyzed around InSight is about 50 km², and I also indicate the corresponding number of tracks and the number of soils below each DTT map. We gathered below all the formation rates, estimated by the number of tracks per kilometer square per sol, and we can see that there is many variations in the activity of the dust devil over the Martian year, and I will come back later to these variations. A second striking observation is that the overall orientation of tracks is fairly constant, roughly northwest-southeast, as shown by the rose diagram below. In details, we can have slight variations, and we will discuss this in the next slides. So now we compare our measurements from the orbital data with the InSight data acquired by the meteorological sensor. On the left, I show you again the different rose diagrams determined from orbit, and the mean orientation is about north 135 degrees east or north 45 degrees west. On the right is the wind directions measured by the wind sensors since the beginning of the missions, thus about 660 sols. Note that the wind direction represented here are those measured during the day because it corresponds to the time period where dust devils are active. It allows us to compare directly with our measurements made from orbital data. The InSight data show first a reversal of the wind directions over the Martian year from -40 -50 degrees to 130 degrees ASC, with ASC meaning atmospheric science conventions, so the direction from which the wind blows. These reversals of about 180 degrees in the wind directions were already well known and correspond to seasonal variations. On the left at the transition between winter and spring times, and at the right between summer and autumn times. The mean wind directions are in good agreement with what we deduced from the DDT. In details, we can see that the slight variation in DDT orientation are even more agreeing with the InSight data. For example, when the wind blows from the northwest, the DDT orientation are higher, about north 145 degrees east. See IRAS interval 1, 2, and 14. While when the wind blows from the southeast, the DDT orientation are lower, about north 130 degrees east. See the other intervals in the middle, and in good agreement with the plateau observed in the InSight data. Now we compare the DDT formation rates estimated from orbital data with the wind speed and the number of pressure drops above 1.3 Pascal detected by the InSight in-situ meteorological sensor. Here we consider that one pressure drops correspond to the passage of one dust devil. The x-axis on the left is the solar longitude since the beginning of the missions, in order to better understand the seasonal variation of the dust devil activity. Each color corresponds to the IRAS intervals analyzed before, and the gray dots are the pre-landing measurements by Rice and Lawrence 2016 in Elysium Planitia. Seasons named in the northern hemisphere are indicated above the plot. For comparison, in the right, the x-axis on InSight data include both InSight Sol and solar longitudes, represented by the gray vertical dashed lines. Comparing step by step the three datasets, we see first a strong decrease in the DDT formation rates, number of pressure drops, and mean ambient wind speed at the beginning of the mission in winter. This is followed by a quiet period where no tracks were observed under low wind speed conditions at the transition between winter and spring. This is also the time period where a major dust storm occurred on Mars. Then the DDT formation rate rises during early spring to reach a plateau that will remain constant during a significant amount of time until late summer. Then, after a strange behavior on the InSight data, not resolved by the IRAS dataset due to the large intervals considered, the number of pressure drops and the wind speed decrease again during the late summer, in good agreement with the DDT formation rates. Then a new quiet period appears in the early autumn, where no tracks are detected under similar atmospheric conditions that the first quiet period during the late winter. And finally, in the late autumn, despite highly scattered data denoting turbulent atmospheric conditions, the dust devil activity increases again significantly. Note that the turbulent conditions have been observed at the beginning and at the end of the period analyzed here, thus during late autumn and early winter. This corresponds also to the high-rise intervals where we observe cycloidal tracks and phased structures. So the arrows give you the overall shape of the dust devil activity at Elysium Planitia during one Martian year. It shows amazingly the very good agreement between the DDT formation rates determined from orbit and the meteorological data, especially the correlation with the mean ambient wind speed. And this point is important because previous studies have shown that the vortex activity is closely linked to both the ambient wind speed and the surface-to-air temperature difference. But at the InSight landing site, these two parameters have opposite behaviors, as shown here in the right. When the wind speed increases in purple, the temperature and surface-to-air gradient decreases in red and orange. This means that in this region, the ambient wind speed will be the predominant factor on the advection process of dust devils. These results have been also discussed in the recent study made by Spiga and collaborators in 2020. Finally, we also tried to test a relation found by Balm and collaborators in 2012, who have shown on the left a link between the ambient wind speed and the trajectory of dust devil on Earth, approached by the standard deviation of the tracks. They conclude that the higher the ambient wind speed, the more linear the track is. On the other hand, if the wind speed is low, then the trajectory of the dust devil will be sinuous. The South Martian atmospheric conditions are very different from those on Earth, like one characteristic, pressure, density, and composition of the atmosphere. This relation could be also applicable on Mars. This is what we show on the right, considering high-rise intervals with a large number of tracks, at least one per kilometer square, to have a robust estimate of the standard deviation of the DDT directions. At first order, it seems that this relation is valid. The DDT submitted to similar ambient wind speed present a similar range of standard deviation of the track trajectory, but as you can see, there are not enough data, especially under the low ambient wind speed conditions, to assess confidently that the relation is valid on Mars. Here are my conclusions. So over the last Martian year, through the analysis of DDT on post-landing high-rise satellite images, we show a seasonal variation of dust devil activity in very good agreement with meteorological data recorded on Mars. We show a peak of activity during late autumn, early winter, and late spring, early summer. On the other hand, there is no activity during late winter, early spring, and late summer, early autumn. Different types of tracks have been identified, and among them, cycloidal tracks are observed when the atmospheric conditions are turbulent. Tracks are mostly linear with consistent orientations, which are consistent with the directions measured by InSight. Thus, the analysis of orbital images is really helpful to describe the seasonal variations in the formation rates of dust devil. Thank you very much for your attention.